You know, have you ever stopped to think about how a single, universal truth could be told in a billion different ways? It's a wild idea. Today, we are diving into a truly mind-bending story from the ancient Avatamsaka Sutra that explores exactly that. It's this incredible lesson in cosmic-level communication that, believe it or not, is super relevant to our own lives. And it all kicks off with a simple but really profound puzzle.
So our whole story really begins with this question. Just imagine for a second, a being who has reached the absolute peak of wisdom and understanding. Why on Earth, or, across countless universes, would they need hundreds of millions of different names? It just seems a bit much, right? Well, the answer to that question reveals one of the most powerful ideas about empathy and teaching ever written down.
To get why, we first have to set the scene. And trust me, this is a scene on an unimaginable scale. We're not talking about a single room or even a single planet. We're talking about a gathering that involves the entire cosmos.
Right at the center of everything is the Buddha. And this is happening at the very moment he has awakened to the ultimate nature of reality. This isn't just some personal achievement, okay? It's an event that is literally echoing across all of existence. He's sitting there having realized the complete and perfect truth.
And he is not alone, far from it. He's surrounded by this unbelievable assembly of what the sutra calls bodhisattvas. You can think of them as these amazing beings who are right on the verge of enlightenment themselves, totally dedicated to helping others. And they've come from every direction you can possibly imagine, from worlds as numerous as tiny dust motes and thousands of universes, all gathering in this one place, the Hall of Universal Brightness, just to witness this moment.
Okay, so you have all these brilliant minds from all over the cosmos gathered together. What do you think they're thinking about? What does this incredible assembly actually want? Well, it turns out, even though they come from all these different places, they all share a single, unified wish. Basically, they want to know, well, everything. How does a Buddha's wisdom actually work? What's the path to get to that same truth? How can they help every other being find their way? They're all looking at the Buddha and asking, please, show us how. Explain this profound truth you've just realized. It's the ultimate request for knowledge.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. The Buddha's response to this universal plea isn't just a single lecture or one definitive book. No, it's something way more complex and honestly way more compassionate. And it reveals the heart of this entire teaching.
The core principle is this. The way you talk about a truth has to be tailored to whoever is listening. To reach beings with completely different minds, experiences, and cultures across infinite worlds, you can't just have one name or one explanation. A single label, one approach, it's just not going to work for everybody.
And the sutra gives us some amazing, concrete examples. For instance, in our world, which the text calls the Saha world, the Buddha is known by names like Shakyamuni, or the Teacher, or a Lion's Roar. These are names that resonate with us. But in another reality, the Good Protection world, those names would mean nothing. There he's known as Vajra, which is like a diamond, or Cloud King, or One Without Contention. Totally different names for the exact same enlightened being.
So why all the different names? This quote from the sutra is the key. It says, adapting to the minds of all beings to guide them. And that's the aha moment. It's not about the teacher, it's about the student. It's about picking the word, the concept, the face that's going to connect best with the person you're trying to reach. It is radical empathy in action.
But this idea doesn't just stop with names. Oh no, it goes way deeper than that. The sutra shows that this incredible level of adaptation applies to the most fundamental teachings themselves. The truth doesn't change, but the words you use to talk about it, they absolutely do. Just look at this. It illustrates the point perfectly. The Four Noble Truths are like the foundation of Buddhist teaching. But look here. In our world, the first truth, suffering, is described as oppression. In the secret instruction world, it's called the root of striving. And get this, in the utmost victory world, it's just called terror. Same exact truth, totally different framing. And the path to end that suffering? It's called the one vehicle here, but a mighty general or something unbreakable somewhere else. Every single term is perfectly tailored to the mindset of the beings in that world. And how many versions are there? Well, the sutra gives a number that is just designed to blow your mind. In each world, there are 400 billion different names for the Four Noble Truths alone. Now, that's not meant to be a literal count. It's a poetic way of saying that the number of ways to express the truth is, well, it's essentially infinite.
So it all comes back to this one central idea. The message itself, the core truth, stays constant, but the delivery is endlessly flexible. It's such a powerful reminder that true wisdom isn't rigid or dogmatic. It's adaptive, it's creative, and it's deeply, deeply compassionate. It meets you exactly where you are.
Okay, so I know what you might be thinking. A story about countless worlds and billions of names, it can seem a little abstract, a little out there. But this ancient principle has a direct and really powerful application in our lives today. It's basically a masterclass in how we connect with each other.
This whole idea actually has a name. It's called skillful means. It's the art of communication. It's the wisdom of understanding that it's just not enough to be right. To be effective, to actually help someone or connect with them, you have to say your piece in a way they can hear it and understand it. It's all about bridging that gap between your mind and theirs.
So what's the takeaway for us? Well, it breaks down into 3 pretty simple steps. First, recognize who you're talking to. Whether it's a kid, a coworker, or your best friend, one size does not fit all. Second, practice empathy. Try to shift your focus from what do I want to say to what do they need to hear and how do they need to hear it. And third, adapt. Be flexible. If one explanation isn't landing, find another one, just like the Buddha using billions of names.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. We might not be teaching across countless universes, but in our own world, to the people we care about, how many different ways can we find to express a single, important, kind idea? The Avatamsaka Sutra suggests the answer is pretty much limitless.